G'day traders, Sam here from Trade to Prosper, here to give you another Bitcoin review. So, what we have so far? Um, I did talk about this move, made the right call in the previous post, so I'm glad I did that right. Sometimes I just like getting things right, and if you're not sure where that video was, it's here. I'll put the link there. But basically, I'm talking about this situation where that was a buying position. We'll go up there and few levels along and give reasons for it. If you watch the video, I explain how that works with the shorts and the longs, and you might have to pick up some tips. Now, what we have here is Bitcoin that's aligned with Wyckoff. So the tool gives us a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the sell and climax. We're having an ABC correction and then further down. So this, if I was to get rid of this for a sec, this is my thinking. If you just zoom in, along with the Wyckoff, this is our automatic response. Price comes all the way to there, hits a 0.5 Fibonacci, comes back down, secondary test, up thrust, makes that 0.618 level, comes back down. So what we had here was pretty much a nice shorting opportunity, and I still have it. I think I have it. I took profit along the way down, and I'm leaving it. But I have a shorting position somewhere around there. Now, let's just talk about this alignment. So the key level is a 0.5 Fibonacci. And what we think we're seeing is the bottoming formation at LPR stage. And the 618 is the next resistance. So if this breaks it, the next resistance is pretty clear. You can see that position. It's just really, really aligned with Wyckoff. It's really, and with Fibonacci, it's just amazing that Bitcoin is so well structured as a bottom. So what does this mean? If we break above this, it means we are likely to break above this and potentially keep going. So that is my first target, second, third, and this level is going to be really my resistance and come back down. And I'll explain why. So that's what I have for now. This is an ideal situation. I'll just enable that. I do think that's what's going to take place, and we will see how that goes. But from a big picture perspective, here's my thoughts. Oops. So if we look at this structure, if I put the Elliott wave count, where is it again? So that's this phase done. We have our ABC correction, which is roughly there. The 200 moving average is good reason why we find resistance along. There's a lot of position on the daily, the 200 MA and the 200 EMA. So when this comes down, as this price comes up, these will start turning up, and this is going to be a perfect position as well as previous support, give or take a bit, is just going to be very difficult to pass. And that's the neckline, and that fits in also to the Wyckoff. So let me just get that one, distribution, so you can see how that works. So Wyckoff distribution is that. And you can see how that is aligned. And what you know is the SOE, LPSR. So that currently, so our automatic response was all the way down here. That was our neckline. So this shouldn't pass the neckline at all. So we've gone through that. It's not deep enough. So what I'm looking at now, based on just some macro structure, knowing that full well that there's high inflation, high interest rates, I am looking at this chart from a macro perspective that we have 1, 2, I believe this is 3 and 4, and then we're going to have 5 that goes further down. Now, how further down? Well, we can argue about that. I have my other chart that I'm not going to go into, but I shared it with our group. You can come and see it in our group. If you ask a question, I'll show you in the group on Telegram. It's in my signature, and that's what I'm looking at for now. Um, if we look on the weekly, just give me a sec. What I want to do is get the indicators out. So you can see stochastic RSI, every time we had that, we had a crossover. So every time we had the top, we had a crossover. We had a crossover here. This might just come back up and back down, or to a flat level. So that's giving us weight on the weekly. On the weekly here as well, we haven't quite passed it. So there's a number of ways of looking at this. Probably that way. So we have a bit of a bullish move here. Now the thing is, a 50% is going to be very important. So if the week closes, so the 0.5 Fibonacci is pretty much. So what's happening now on the weekly is, if we close above it. So at the moment it's just poking its head out. So we haven't closed above it. So the 0.5 Fibonacci is aligned with this. So if we close this candle above, then this will stick out, and then it's likely, like I said, to go and hit new highs. But in the macro picture, the big picture, it's wave 3 to 4. And wave 3 to 4 is complex, and that's what I'm looking at. Wave 5, we can probably have a guess if it's from there. And if we hit around that level there, or 200, yep, what I'll do is I'll just reverse that. And you can see the Fibonacci targets. And it might come down to as low as that. So these are the levels, and I'm looking for pretty much that level, and you can see that makes sense. So next year is going to be nasty, and you can see all the support there. And this is where the bull run started. So this makes a lot of sense. It's ideal textbook chart TA. So now what supports that? Let's look at this. So SP 500. I do believe that we are doing A, B, C. So B could go up to that level. So we have our A, B wave, and then C could be further down, and it could be really nasty. We don't know how nasty. So that's one structure that I'm looking at. So wave 5 is pretty much complete. We had our A, B, C, or we can have a bigger. But anyway, I won't go into details. What I want to do is look at the monthly. From the monthly perspective, this is a 21 monthly moving average. Historically, if we close below it, so we're having a touch now, what they call it, a kiss. If this candle closes above it, and you can see we've got a monthly resistance that we need to break, which is that one there. And I've labeled it. We need to close above the monthly to become bullish on the next bull run. Historically, whenever we close below the monthly 21 month average, so if we get just above, but that one didn't quite close, and then we get a rejection like that, or smaller, we are going to go deep. I'm not saying it's going to go that deep, but I'm saying we're going to have a deeper pullback. And high inflation rates and recession and high interest rates and high inflation rates and all the other stuff that's going on in the world, I wouldn't be surprised that we get another black swan event. And so we just got to be mindful of this on the big picture. And the Fed's got a hard task in hand. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. And let me have a look at quickly optimism. Okay, still struggling. And where's my Ethereum? So I did talk about Ethereum in the past. Okay, so we're breaking above it. Very similar to Bitcoin. Breaking above, this is bullish. and we might just, I do believe we're going to hit this level, which is close to 2K, 2K and a bit. So this is, and the merge might just make it come back. So we might get a double top and then come back down. But anyway, or we go to this top level here, which is about 2,000, what's it, 2,300 something. So we might just come back to this neckline. I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. I think that's pretty much it. I think I've got the message out there, and I'll give me a like and share, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.